Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success. This is episode number 144. Today is Monday, and every Monday we talk about health and weight loss. Although we just finished a Mission 25, and frankly, every Monday after a Mission 25, we try to talk about health and weight loss, and we usually get completely sidetracked. So today we're pretty much just going to give up on health and weight loss for the day and talk about Mission 25. Um, Matt and I are both still in transit home after an amazing, epic, life changing, exhausting, uh, jam packed weekend. And really, it's hard for me to, even though we're going to look for some juice as soon as we leave the hotel this morning, it's hard for me to focus on health right now. So we're gonna chat a little bit about Detroit. How are you this morning, my friend?
I am doing well, my friend. My heart is still in Detroit, and I woke up probably 20 times last night. And I know you can relate, and many others that attend to Mission 25. There's times where it's just absolutely overwhelming. You can walk out of a shelter. We're going to tell a lot of stories today and share some of the things that took place at Mission 25, some of the exciting things that happened. But man, Mike, I still cannot get the image out of my mind of children not having pillows, literally no pillow. I mean, who can sleep without a pillow?
Right.
And then that lady, elderly lady living in a homeless, battered woman shelter. Um, and she was so humble, man, just humble. And, we gave out pillows. And, I walked by her room and she was just sitting on her bed holding her pillow that we had just given her. And I noticed she was sitting on plastic. And I said, ma'am, where's your sheet at? Thinking maybe she was washing it or something. She goes, I don't have a sheet. And I said, so you just sleep on that mattress there? You don't have a blanket or anything? And she said, no, this is all I have. And I can't get that out of my mind, Mike. I laid in bed last night and thought about it for a long time. That right here in America, where you got athletes that are getting paid like $25 million a year to throw a basketball in a hoop or hit a baseball. It's just crazy. And I'm not if the you know what, God bless them. I'm not saying that that's necessarily. I'm for anybody making any amount of money they can, and I know many of them do good with their money. So don't misunderstand that. I'm just
Right.
saying that, like, it only takes a little bit to make such a huge difference. And I mean, think about all that we have, even those that aren't wealthy. Let's just say the middle class. I mean, there's people that are middle class that live like gods compared to people in third world countries, and even people here in our country. Mike, we met families living in cars, man, little kids living in a car with their mom. They had no pillows. I mean, look in the car and you can see all their clothes in the trunk. And I mean, how does a family of four sleep in a car, man? It's got to get hot. It's got to get, on
Live
nights
in a
that it
car.
rains, it's got to get muggy. What's that?
They live in a car.
It's
Yeah,
just, it's overwhelming.
they live there.
It's overwhelming, man. To the point, Mike, to the point, it's changed my life. When I say the words changed my life, we've we've seen a lot, we've done a lot, but it's changed my life, man. I feel like I literally almost feel like living a little bit above poverty level just so I can give. And it's not, I mean, I believe God wants us to be blessed. Don't get me wrong, but I just want to give everything. Like I literally to think, man, I could buy anybody a blanket. I could buy anybody a pillow. But for them, man, just, a pillow and a blanket, bedding, sheets, we saw it, man. You go in those rooms, there's no air conditioning. We went into a room, and a lady and her 3 kids shared this little room. It's like a jail cell. Yeah, it's better than the streets, but come on, who really wants to live in that? What kids? I mean, they have nothing. They literally share a locker. They had like 4 little lockers in there. That's it. No dressers, nothing. No toy box. They literally had nothing, Mike. Nothing. No pillows. Even some of them had blankets, but they weren't even comfortable blankets. You all know there's a difference between a blanket and a comfortable blanket. And just, man, I'm on fire, and I want to do Mission 25 every day of my life, and I'm intending to. But it's just, I don't know, man. I'm still I'm still just overwhelmed by some of the things we've seen, and that's not even including the things we've seen in all of our past mission trips. You know, so it's just something else, man. I know you feel the same way.
You know, Matt, when we got to our hotel on Saturday night and we were exhausted, and I got in the shower, and they had this really nice smelling lemony soap in the hotel, and I'm standing there in the shower, and I thought, you know, I can literally step into a clean shower anytime I want, turn on hot water, use soap, and get out and use a clean towel, and that is such a blessing to me because there were so many people. You know what? On the shelter that we took coffee to on Saturday morning, and bless them, they're doing the best that they can. But sometimes when you talk about homeless shelters, um, they literally sleep. They don't sleep outside. They get to sleep inside, but they sleep sitting up in a plastic chair. That's all they have. And we on Thursday or Friday afternoon, we took a couple ladies that stay there out to lunch, and one of them said that because Matt had asked her, where do you shower? And she said, well, there's a shower there at the shelter, but it's so nasty that. And now she lives on the street, right? She sleeps in a chair, but she said it's so nasty that if I only take a shower if I could find like a plastic Walmart bag that I could set on the floor to stand on, and I don't touch anything, then I can take a shower. And so just the
I don't know if
opportunity that
it's
we
me,
have
but
to
Mike
take a
keeps
hot
cutting
shower
me
and use a
out.
clean towel. Am I cutting out?
Yeah, you're cutting out, but it's okay. I mean, you're just real choppy, so I'm just letting you know if there's maybe something you can do. Um,
Right.
it might just be me. I don't know
Sure.
if everybody else can hear it, but anyways, yeah, Mike, that was definitely moving. And to go in and look at them showers, you know, when you're thinking of like 200 homeless people sharing like 4 showers, they're dirty, man.
Yeah,
Okay, good. They said they can hear you. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
that's okay. That was I just and you know, I don't know. We take so many things for granted. You know, I mean, I have 3 showers in my house at home. Think about that for a minute. That convicts me right there. And like you said, everybody's got 5 pillows on their bed. You know, at least.
Yeah, I know I do, and I love pillows, but I can tell you this. Man, I can tell you this, dude. You know, if people that are watching this episode have never been to a Mission 25, when we say it's life changing, that is not hype at all. It's not. Anybody can tell you that's been to one. It is life changing. It's eye opening. It brings you like you almost feel like you're hanging with Jesus. Like you feel like you would be doing what Jesus would be doing if he was here on earth. And how many people come to me that say, I've been in church all my life and I thought I was a Christian until today? How many people have come to
Yeah.
me and say, you know what? I don't even feel saved. I feel lost. I feel so selfish. I feel so arrogant. Literally, Mike, it breaks the people that come and serve because, I mean, yesterday when some of our volunteers went into that shelter to give blankets and pillows to the kids and moms, she started weeping. She was so overwhelmed. It was Jason's wife. She was so overwhelmed. She said, I've never seen anything like this. And she said, I don't know what to say. I mean, Mike, you ready for this? We're talking about like a blanket. You saw this. We were getting ready to leave, and this little girl comes running up to me, gives me a hug, looks at me, and she says, thank you so much for my blanket. She didn't have to do that. But I mean, just for her, like getting a blanket is like some of our kids getting a brand new, Xbox. She was so grateful to have that little
Yeah.
blanket, And man, I mean to say, Mike, I just, I'm blown away, man. I am blown away by these children. And you saw it. I mean, them two little girls at the ice cream truck. In fact, it's on the video that I posted. I don't know if y'all saw it on Twitter or Facebook, but the girl literally said, this is the happiest day of my life. And they were so happy just to get an ice cream and get to get some stuff out of Carol's treasure box. And people gave hula hoops and stuffed animals and bags of blessing for the kids, coloring books, crayons. And how many kids were so excited just to get a coloring book and crayons? We got to remember that they literally have nothing in these shelters. They are at their lowest in life. And one of the guys said to one of our volunteers, y'all are different. You actually talk to us. You listen to us. And that's one of the things we teach at Mission 25. We don't just go into the shelters and slap food on a plate and smile and say, God bless you. We literally hang 2 or 3 hours. We sit at tables with these people and listen to them and talk to them and listen to their stories. And that's healing for them because they're just as human as we are. I mean, Mike, they are defeated. They're discouraged. They're tired. They're weary. They're heartbroken. Many of them are just heartbroken, and even like the veterans, man. And then I got to give a shout out. I don't know if Joe's watching. Man, he and his wife, Jessica, it's like, Mike, we have met. I've traveled the world. I want everyone to listen to what I'm about to say. And Mike can say the same thing. We both have traveled the world. And when I say the world, I mean the world. And I've met thousands of people. I've never met better people than the people that I'm meeting that come to our Mission 25s. Never. I am meeting some of the most unbelievable people. The fact that I lived on this earth and I didn't know Joe and Jessica, I feel like I've been missing out. I mean, they are just, and Pastor how do you say Alizman? Yeah, Alamazan. There you go. I got it. Pastor Alamazan was just awesome. People like him, people like Jeff Breza, and if I start naming people, I'm sure gonna, miss. But even Amanda, man, the story of Amanda, and I'm going to let you share a few things, Mike, but think of this. Amanda was homeless when she came to the LA Mission 25. She was homeless. She didn't believe in God at all. Hear me? She was an atheist. She didn't even believe in this. And she came to LA Mission 25. Then she came to Philly Mission 25, and she was still struggling a little bit with her faith. And then she came to Detroit. One of our volunteers, bless their heart, bought her a plane ticket to come to Detroit. Isn't that amazing? And one of our other volunteers let her stay in the hotel room. That's amazing. Amanda was a changed girl, Mike. You saw it. You and Carol were witnessing to this guy. And Amanda, who didn't used to believe in God, was witnessing to the guy. Tell him about Jesus, saying, look, I still don't know, but I know this is real. I mean, Mike, that right there alone, man. And Amanda was she was awesome this weekend, man. She bought 40 stuffed animals to give to kids. Right. So, I mean, Mike, it's already 15 minutes into our show, and we haven't even scratched the surface of the stories. We should do a Mission 25 recap all week. But yeah, tell me, Mike. I mean, tell me a few things that stick out in your mind, man.
One of the things that really sticks out. Well, first of all, the ice cream truck was a blast. We had a great time. But when I pulled it up in front of the last shelter that we went to, the family shelter, And I pulled the truck right up in front of the front door so that everybody could come out because we were inside. We were having a pizza party. We're serving them. We're giving them pizza and giving them their gift bags and I guess we probably called them bags of blessing, but they were straight up gift bags. I mean, they were nice gift bags with tissue paper, wrapped nice, well done, and with a lot of good stuff in it. And you know, because we really just wanted to serve them and give them some good stuff. And then they were told, hey, after you're done eating, go outside for ice cream. Well, I had just pulled the ice cream truck up, and I was just walking inside, and one of these little girls, it might have been the little girl on your video actually, she was walking out, and she didn't. Nobody told her there was an ice cream truck. She just said, "Go outside for ice cream." And she came out, and I saw her right as she saw the truck, and she goes, "It's an ice cream truck. They don't never come down here." And I said, "I brought it here just for you." And she just lit up, and she's like, "An ice cream truck, an ice cream truck. We never see those here." And she was so excited because we didn't just bring ice cream, man. We brought a truck. And man, that was something else. And it made her day, you know.
Mike and I have a dream of owning an ice cream truck, a juice truck, and taking it all across America and blessing people. Dude, us driving in that ice cream truck, I wish there would have been a hidden video camera on us. We were like two little kids in there, man. We were like, dude, we're doing this, you know. We were like, no big deal. We're just driving an ice cream truck into the second worst neighborhood in America to give ice cream. No biggie, you know. And it was just awesome, man. It really was. And the smile on those kids' faces, dude. And it was fun, man. And you know what? I think it ended up being over 350 ice creams that we gave away because we ended up buying more ice cream. So it could have easily been 450.
Yeah, it was something like that. But you know, that ended up right next to the ice cream truck because I thought, you know, we didn't have a lot of room. There was just a little sidewalk. We were in downtown Detroit next to the shelter, and we just had a party on the sidewalk there for probably over an hour. Because Big Lou came out with those big bouncy balls, remember? And those little kids and Carol mentioned it in the comments, they just lit up when they saw those bouncy balls. And they did like $2.50 bouncy balls. Like, here's a ball. And they're like, I can't believe I have a ball. And so they were playing in the street, and we just kind of took over that street, man. It was awesome. We had a great time. Just having fun, just bringing some joy, light of the world.
Well, and that's the thing, man. That's like even in that neighborhood we went, everybody was just hanging with Mike. We got to tell the story about the little boy, man, on our ice cream truck. That everybody was gone, and we were just kind of waiting for the final word if it was time to bring the ice cream truck. And that little boy was sitting in our ice cream truck, and he wouldn't leave at all, man. He would not leave. And you tell it, man. I mean, it's a moving. It was just, and it's even if we tell the story, you're still not going to capture the look in his eyes that we saw. I mean, we can tell you about the look in his eyes. We can tell you about the genuine smile that was on his face when we were playing football with him. Mike, you know, the Bible talks about the fatherless kids, okay? Probably 80% of these kids in these inner cities literally have no father. No male role model. And if they do have a father, it doesn't mean that they actually have a father. It doesn't mean that they have a safe gentleman that plays with them and gets on their knees and looks in their eye and listens to them and connects with them. You know, many of these kids have never connected with a father or a male role model. And that's why when our men, thank God that we're starting to get more men come to Mission25. Man, we had a ton of men at this missions trip. We were starting to get frustrated. We were like, dude, where are the men at? You know, what is up with this? I mean, this isn't just our missions trip. On almost all missions trips, it's all ladies. Like, well, what is up with this? Like, we've got to get more men to realize their role in the lives of these kids. That as loving as females are, as gentle and sweet and nurturing as females are, there's nothing like a man in the eyes of a little kid. That's why the Bible says that pure religion is this. It's this. You ready? It's this. Pure religion is to visit the fatherless and the widows. So if we're not blessing widows and we're not blessing fatherless kids, we don't have pure religion. We have nasty religion. We have false religion. We have fake religion. But these kids without dads, man. But anyways, Mike, tell about the little boy, because I can't get him out of my mind. I mean, literally,
But
if I owned my own plane, I promise you, I would fly to these different cities I would fly to a different city every day, and I would just go hang with these kids for an hour or two, you know, play some ball with them, chat with them, and then fly back to another city. Maybe that's coming one day. Maybe God is going to give us our
maybe
own plane. And I'm not even kidding. I mean, I literally believe there'll come a day when I can just walk onto a runway and tell my pilot, hey, boss, take me to Detroit. I want to go see little Johnny. You know, really. But anyways, go ahead, Mike.
well, so everybody else had left, and we had to drive the ice cream truck. So it was just Matt and I, and we were buttoning up the ice cream truck, getting it ready to pull out because we were sort of in the middle of this whole apartment complex. And this one little boy comes walking up with his football under his arm, and he's like, "Where'd everybody go?" And it's like, "Buddy, we got to get out of here. We got another place to be." I'm like, "Can I get you an ice cream or something?" He's like, "What? You got to leave now?" And we're like, "Yeah, we really do. We got another place to go to." And he's like, "Well, can't we play just for a little bit?" Because we had like an all-out kickball game going there for a while, and I don't know, maybe he wasn't allowed to come out in time or whatever. But and he's like, "Man, can you play for a while or whatever?" And we're like, "Yeah, well, I'll throw the ball with you just a few times, you know." And I went out and threw the ball, and he's like, "Well, let's." And then Matt came out, and we were kind of throwing the ball, and he goes, "Let's run some plays." That's we ran a few plays, and eventually I scored a touchdown on Matt. And
Yeah, you did.
although he,
I'm gonna give you a moment in glory. You can have it. You did. You scored on me. I'll take it. You scored.
Matt might have been letting the little boy throw a touchdown pass, just saying. But
You did
but
score.
anyway, so but he was like, man, he did not want us to leave. He sat in the truck and he's just like, man, don't leave, guys. We're like, we really have to go because there's some people waiting on us over at the shelter. He's like, well, can I come over there? It's like, well, the shelter's all gated in, and I'm like, I don't think you can, man. But he was just so. First of all, he was so excited that we even took the time to play with him. And then he really didn't want us to go. And I remember we were starting the truck, and he was walking back to his house, and he just kept turning around and waving. He turned around and waved, and and he was so happy, really, for the time we spent with him. What did we spend with him, Matt? Maybe 5 minutes.
Well, altogether about 15 with the football and him hanging out in our truck. There he is.
Yeah,
But Mike, and again, we can describe it. But when he did walk away and then turned around and looked at us with that smile, dude, that was like, man, I mean, he just turned around, looked at us, and waved, you know. And I was like, oh Jesus, no wonder. Jesus talks about reaching to children, and that literally the way you treat children is the way you treat God. And I'm blown away that more churches don't do more for these kids because they're so beautiful. They're so like, Mike, I mean, some of them live in some of the most abusive, poverty like situations of just terror, darkness, loneliness, boredom. And when people come in, I honestly believe, and this goes to like community connection, but why are we having all this church inside the four walls? I mean, I read the Gospels, and it's nothing like most churches I see. Nothing, not even close. And I'm just shocked. I'm thankful that God has trusted us to launch Mission25 because I think it's helping Christianity get back to what it's about. But it's sad. It's really sad the amount of churches that are still, you know what they're like? They're like Jonah. They're literally asleep. They're like Peter, James, and John. They're sleeping. They are asleep spiritually. They're asleep to the real gospel, to real Christianity. And that's why I thank God for this movement. In Mission 25, it's not just a ministry. It literally is a movement. Like, it's spreading across the world. The amount of people, Mike, I had Jason and his wife came up to me last night and said, this lady is very wealthy, and she gave me a truckload of like some of the fanciest expensive blinds. And he said, I'm selling all of them on eBay and Craigslist or wherever I can sell them. And I'm going to take the money and we're going to buy all of our tickets to all of the Mission 25s. You know, isn't that amazing? That's amazing to me. Yeah. Hey, we're almost out of time, Mike. But hey, Thursday night, guess what? We're getting ready to release the dates and locations of 2015 Mission 25. We have another 12 mission trips that we're coming. Should we announce one of the locations now, Mike? Just one? One of the new locations now? Pretty excited about it. Because everybody, should we or should we make them wait?
Oh, I think we should probably wait.
Yeah, let's make them wait. It's rude and it's hardcore, but hey, by Thursday you'll know, my friends. Any other stories stick out to you, Mike? I got a couple in my mind, but I want to give you a little time to share any, or maybe tell maybe a story of one of our volunteers that you noticed, something you saw them share or seen them do or whatever.
Sorry, I'm actually getting over quite an illness, so my voice isn't so great. But you know, I saw tons of inspiring things happen with our volunteers, and just the way that they stepped up and served, and you know that there was such a heart to serve there all day when we were, and Carol mentioned it in the comments that we literally had 6 major missions that we accomplished in about 12 hours, which is staggering. And to see our people just step up and do it was amazing. You know, when we took about 40 homeless folks out to breakfast. And actually, my friend Dan from back home, my home church, who was originally from the Detroit area, was there with his family. Brought his 5 kids. He and his wife and his 5 kids from like 11 to 4, right? So if you want to know if you can bring your kids, absolutely. Brought their kids. They had a 15-passenger van, and we were down at the shelter on Saturday morning, handing out coffee and fresh juice. And they got so there's 7 of them. They got 8 more homeless folks and packed them in their 15-passenger van to take them to the restaurant where we had to eat. And my buddy Dan managed that whole thing with his 5 kids. Got 8 homeless folks with, and went to the restaurant. And his daughter, who's Justice, is like, I don't know, what is she? She's 9 or 10. I don't remember exactly. But she was sitting at a table with 3 homeless guys having breakfast, and they were having the time of their life. There were the 4 of them. It was 9-year-old Justice and 3 homeless guys having breakfast together, laughing and chatting and having a good time. And that, to me, it's like, you want to know how to raise a kid and how to give them some good perspective, take them to a mission trip. And
Yes.
That to me was inspiring. So shout out to my buddy Dan and his family. They did an awesome job serving. And, you know, it would be easy to make excuses. Look, I got 5 kids. Some of them are young. It's hard to manage. And they didn't make excuses. They just made it happen.
Well, let me at least say this, Mike, okay? Just so everybody knows, everybody's asking for one location. We're not going to tell you any of the new locations. We will tell you we are going back to Detroit again next year. How's that?
Without question.
In fact, we're going back to Detroit in July next year. So there you go. So anyways, here's the deal, my friends. If you've never been to a Mission 25, go to mission25usa.com. You owe it to yourself, to your wife, to your husband, to your kids, to Jesus, to the poor, to attend at least one missions trip, at least one, okay? The next thing I want to say is a great big thank you to all of you that made a donation and gave. You were a part of this. And listen, Mike, I'm in favor of doing another Mission 25 recap, even if we do it tomorrow, just because we didn't even scratch the surface. So we might continue this conversation in tomorrow's episode, maybe on into Wednesday. We might do a 3-day recap. We'll see how it goes. We'll follow the flow here. But I do want to say thank you, and to all of you that gave. You were a huge part of this. It would not have happened without you. And I know I'm humbled right now. I'm actually about to weep because I'm so thankful for those that are so kind to believe in us and to give of your hard-earned money to cause this missions movement to go across America. You've made it possible. And you were a part of this. Every little kid that you've seen smile, every homeless person that you've seen get a blanket or a pillow, or every bag of blessing, or the homeless people that got breakfast. Mike, we took 40 homeless people to the Motor City Casino all-you-can-eat buffet, and that was when you hear buffet, you normally like, yeah, buffet. No, this was state-of-the-art buffet, the best breakfast buffet I've ever had. I mean, it was high quality. And dude, the homeless people loved it. They were stunned. They were blown away. And just for the record, we did not go into the casino, my friend. It was down a hallway and it was in a restaurant, okay? So go easy on us. It was really good. We will talk more. We'll share more, but I do want to say thank you and looking forward to Minneapolis. We're going to Mike's hometown, Mike and Carol's hometown in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and we're going to do a lot of good for Jesus there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and cannot wait to go to Minneapolis, and then we go to Seattle, and then we go to Washington, D.C., and then we go to New Orleans, and then we go to New York City. We actually got a goal to give away 1,000 Christmas gifts to children in New York City. So y'all going to have to work with us on that one and start now. Start buying some toys now. Don't wait until December. Start buying little things for little boys and girls. Keep them in a little box, and then we'll tell you when to ship up to New York. And I want everyone to ship a box of toys. We're going to stay up all night Friday wrapping toys for kids in New York City. You know, there are 22,000 homeless children in New York City and 60,000 homeless adults. So we got a big mission ahead of us in New York, my friends, and that's in December. So make plans now. New York City is beautiful at Christmas time, so let this be, you know what, don't buy Christmas. Let me give you something. Don't buy any Christmas gifts this year for yourselves. You sit your family down on the couch tonight and say, you know something? Instead of buying all these Christmas gifts, we're going on a missions trip to serve. I promise you, it'll be the happiest Christmas you've ever had in your life. I promise you. I just promise. You wait and see. All right, Mike.
Great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, Payson,
Awesome.
start
Well,
making them Christmas cards.
Amen.
Go ahead, Mike.
I got nothing.
God's good. I don't know if I could hear you.
God is good. I tell you what, let's can you hear me, Matt?
I can hear you.
We're going to get down the road. I got quite a bit of driving yet to do today. Thanks everybody for being on here. We'll see everybody 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I like your idea,
Love
Matt.
y'all.
Let's continue the recap.
We'll do it again tomorrow. God bless you, my friends.
All right. See y'all later.